Okay, starting with school supplies. Pen and paper, historic binders and shelves. I'm sure all of us have dealt with this at one point or another in our lives. Shelves and shelves of binders labeled by year, hopefully kept organized. Hopefully, someone knows exactly where everything is. It's tried and true. It can be tedious. And let's talk about some of the pros and cons here. It's probably one of the easiest to implement, right? It's stuff that people have been doing for 20 years. They are used to this. There is wide usage. It doesn't require electricity, I guess. I don't know. Toss that one in there. What are the cons? There are no backups unless you're forcing people to write down their results twice or copying them over somehow. There can be a degradation of quality over time. We've all seen smudged records, or a page gets ripped, or you're looking at a binder from 5 years ago and it's kind of just ripped and you can't even read what the handwriting is. Oh, handwriting. That's a big one too. I didn't even put that one here, but people can have sloppy handwriting. We all do. Well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us do. Or we're just moving really quick. The binders, the paper, pretty much entirely dependent on individuals' memory. So they have to remember to do it. Maybe they're used to it, and so they don't forget. But there are so many tasks to keep track of. It's just very easy for things to slip through the cracks. And one of the big cons is that any manager or inspector has to physically be in the room to examine the binder, or the binder has to get taken to them in whatever room they're in. There's no way to access things online. You have to walk down, you have to search through. It can take a long time. Okay, our old buddy Excel Lee. I don't know. You guys remember Clippy from the old days with Microsoft Word? I miss Clippy. What a guy. Anywho, I think we're all extremely familiar with Excel as well. This is probably used about as much as the paper and binder method. Some of the pros, it's a great software. Obviously, we all have our complaints with Excel. Like, we've all run into things that annoy us. But in general, there is a lot you can do with it. It's widely used. Almost everyone that I know is quite familiar with the software, to varying degrees of being able to use it very quickly. But it's a pretty intuitive software. I'd say it's like the second easiest implementation. You have a lot of backups. If you use like an online version, you can very easily store things online so that multiple people can see it and edit it and have access. And it's got a lot of good basic charting and graphing tools. Now, some of the cons, the file management can get really tricky. You're going through lists and lists of different folders. You're digging through and trying to find one little file for the inspector. It can be tricky, especially over time as the folders grow and grow and grow. You can see formatting changes over time. So if you've got an old version and you're now using a newer version, that doesn't automatically get propagated into the old version. There's no external support of this database. So like obviously there is, you can call Microsoft and get help with the software, but there's no external support or building new features or things specific to a diagnostic. And then there's no image analysis or specialized features. It's a very generic software. You can do a lot with it, but it's not specialized for diagnostic usage. Okay, homegrown solutions. Some of you may or may not have some experience with this. This would be like a custom-built, site-specific tool, typically spearheaded by one or two employees who really enjoy the coding. They put it all together. They build something. Some of the pros here are it's incredibly custom. It is exactly tailored to whatever your employee wanted to build. So typically, it's exactly what you need. You can have online backup and access, so it can be pretty slick there. There's a few pretty big cons with it, though. One of the biggest ones is that it's often dependent on one employee, maybe two employees. But as time goes on, there's less and less institutional knowledge about the solution itself, especially if that employee, God forbid, ever leaves and goes elsewhere. Well, now you are up the creek without a paddle. You don't necessarily have the knowledge to go in and change the code, and you're just going to get quality kind of degrading over time. Again, that knowledge can just get lost as more and more years go on. Maybe even the person is still there, but they don't remember how they built it or how to change it. I've had that happen to me before. There's also a lot of security risks. Obviously, with big hospital systems, that's a big concern for IT. And so there's a lot of vulnerabilities and security risks without like a full-time online security team to be tracking that.